seated. I've got to say, I really like that hymn. It reminds me of my days as a camper at Aldersgate Center. So it brings me back to a nice warm memory. So why is everybody angry? There are all kinds of stories about people expressing anger in inappropriate ways since the pandemic. Last year in the New York Times, there was a popular story about a man who wanted a special kind of blue cheese. According to Sarah Hall, he wanted Cambozola. He had been cooped up for a long time. He finally was out and he was in search of this blue cheese. And he got to the grocery store, he scoured the cheese section, and it was not there. Can you imagine? So he flagged down an employee to help him find his cheese. She couldn't help. So he demanded she hunt in the back and then look it up on the store computer. There was no luck. And then he lost it. Just another out-of-control member of the great American chorus of consumer outrage. Have you seen a man in his 60s having a full temper tantrum because we don't have the expensive imported cheese he wants, said the employee Anna Luna, who describes the mood at the store in Minnesota as angry, confused, and fearful. You're looking at someone and thinking, I don't think this is about cheese. When we hear stories of people behaving poorly, isn't there a small part of us that would like to see them have some consequences for this behavior? I want to share another story with you. While checking his bags at the airport, a man became indignant with the employee who handled his luggage. For several minutes, he belittled the young man, criticized his every move, and surprisingly, the curbside porter didn't seem troubled by the man's verbal abuse. After the angry man entered the airport, a woman approached the luggage handler and asked, "How do you put up with such injustice?" The young man said, "It's easy. The guy's going to New York, but I'm sending his bags to Brazil." I don't know about you, but I want to applaud the porter for his creativity. But then I remember this is not a Christ-like response. If you go to Google and Google why is everyone so angry, there are lots of articles on the internet. One of the common themes is we want the life we used to have before the pandemic. We want our grocery store shelves stocked. We want lots of staff in the grocery store so we can get in and get out in a timely manner. At the airport, we don't want long lines or canceled flights because of lack of staff. We want restaurants to have plenty of staff. We are feeling like we are no longer in control of our lives, and we are grieving the loss of the way things used to be. And I don't know about you, but it feels like everything these days just takes a lot more energy. This morning I felt like I needed to talk about Jesus and anger. We know that Jesus did get angry when he saw injustice. He overturned the tables of the money changers and those who sold doves in the temple. On different occasions, Jesus referred to the Pharisees as a brood of vipers. But he never used physical violence against another person, nor did he promote the use of violence. Today, Jesus takes the commandment on murder and he expands it to include anger. He warns that if we are angry with a brother or sister, there are consequences. We will be liable to the hell of fire. Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, 'You shall not murder.' And whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sister, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, 'You fool,' you will be liable to the hell of fire." So, when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother or sister, then come and offer your gift. Jesus understood that our angry thoughts can lead to actions, and our actions can lead to murder. One example of angry behavior in the news this week was an alarming video showing a 14-year-old young girl. She was in her high school. She was in the hallway, right near her locker. You guys are nodding your head. And a group of young teenagers surrounded her, kicked her, and then they posted it online. And I gotta tell you, I don't get this. You've done something really awful, and you post it online and share it with everyone? But anyway, the woman who had been abused in school 2 days later committed suicide. You know, I just don't understand how you can treat another human being like this and then post it online. You know, why? That's my question these days as I watch the news. Why? Why would you do this? Did you know early Christians were known for their loving behavior to others? The Roman Emperor Julian, writing in the 4th century, regretted the progress of Christianity because it pulled people away from the Roman gods. He said atheism, and you got to remember the atheists in the Roman Empire were the Christians. He says atheism has been specially advanced through the loving service rendered to strangers and through their care for the burial of the dead. It is a scandal that there is not a single Jew who is a beggar, and that the godless Galileans care not only for their own poor, but for ours as well. While those who belong to us look in vain for the help that we should have rendered them. I like that. Steve Gardis Holmes offers these observations about anger. Anger is not a sin. It is a feeling. It's not your enemy. It's also not righteousness. Anger may arise in the face of injustice or happenstance or almost nothing at all. But it is not against those things. It's not about those things at all. but about your response to those things. Anger is a response to your powerlessness. Otherwise, you'd simply fix what was wrong. Anger is your loyal friend. It's giving you a message and won't leave you until you get it. So don't neglect or suppress your anger. It will sit there and seethe in your mind's basement and become toxic to you and others. And consciously or not, you will weaponize it. Don't turn your anger against anybody, including yourself. Just listen to it. It's telling you about your powerlessness, and it's telling you what you care about. Listen to your anger and ask, 1, what is not right? 2, do I really care about this? The anger could just be a conditioned response, but it's letting you know of your misplaced desire for power and control. If this thing is not worth caring about, you can let your anger be without reacting to it. Just let it be and let yourself be powerless. After all, you are. 3, if you do care about this, what can I do? Remember, you're still powerless, but let your anger direct your attention to what you can do, not to hurt, to avenge, or to make yourself feel less powerless, but to make the situation better. In action, you will regain your power. Then thank your friend, anger. As you go through this week, I encourage you to pay attention to your feelings. Is what's making you angry worth your energy? Notice why it is you feel angry. And is there a Christ-like way that you can change your anger by doing something that is life-giving? Amen.